Big up, it's your boy, Mark, an MUFC fan, and you know what it is. Smash the likes and subscribe. It's an early one, guys, a short one, just an update. Again, Brian and Bremo is here. Yeah, celebrate, guys, because you know what? And yes, they got the job done after a long wait. But now it's on to more interesting moves. Manchester United have been in talks recently, last 48 hours, with the camp for Benjamin Sesko and Leipzig. Is it going to be a situation where Manchester United makes a switch and signs Benjamin Sesko after all the reports that we've heard? Unable to sign Gyökeres, he chose Arsenal. Etikite probably going to Newcastle. We are not signing the likes of the Mamouche. No one, we're not signing anyone. We're going through different strikers, all sort of options. Ollie Watkins has come up. You know what I mean? It's interesting talks because for at one point in the last 6 weeks, everyone was like, we went from top strikers to mid-tables level players, and some strikers we're not sure if we might even want at the club. You know what I mean? Dominic Calvert-Lewin was mentioned at all a player who should not be mentioned in the top level of football when it comes to reality. He has not performed over the last couple seasons. He's been injured, injury prone, hasn't scored many goals to say he's doing a madness or anything like that. Why is he keep getting linked to Manchester United? Why are many players being linked to our club when they have not had performances to show or that to merit that link to United? Is it that we're that club that we're taking all the rejects from different clubs like Mason Mount from Chelsea? I don't know, guys. But the links to Benjamin Sesko, I would say, is very interesting. If you follow my channel, you would know last summer I was this was the guy I was praying for, hoping for, wishing for, along with Marcos Leonardo, who I thought those two options would be definitely dynamic enough to solve the problem of missing goals at Man United. Now, Benjamin Sesko is being linked to Man United again. There are rumors and reports of a £55 million deal being spoken and negotiated over, which would definitely give Leipzig everything that they were asking for in 70 million euros. Will this deal come to reality? I certainly hope so. Some people might say it's too much money. I'm saying it's not my money. I'm saying we finished 15th. We need our bags, man. We need all the firepower that we can get. It's just one of those things. And someone told me Etikite has better stats. He's 90 percentile for 5 or 6 or 7 different, you know, facilitations in the requirements, and that might be the case. But Benjamin Sesko is a finisher. He has great ball work ability, amazing. And I think he reads the game better than most players as a striker. And in my honest opinion, guys, people could disagree, and you all can as well. I believe that Man United needs specialists in certain positions, not dynamic players who can play anywhere across the front line, because then they are master of all, but they are jack of all trades, but they are master of zero, none. It's like Phil Foden, guys. He can play right wing, left wing, through the center, maybe even false nine, but he's not a master at any of those positions in his 6th year in the Premier League. And that's a disappointing thing for me. And some people might think that's a positive, but I think it's a negative because all the greats are masters of their positions that you cannot deny. And in the modern game, if you want to be a modern great, you still have to be a master of one position, even if you can play multiple. And so far, a lot of the players who we've bought that can play multiple positions have not been able to master any. It's disappointing, guys. Very, very disappointing. Man United is being blamed for ruining players, and all sorts of different things. Of course, the board makes terrible decisions. Of course, Ineos has made horrible decisions. They have made some good ones, but they have made horrible ones as well. And it's like we're in a never ending cycle of incompetence at the top. I would say to everyone, we used to wear the amazing suits before every game. Players would arrive in suits and then they would get into their kits. Now players wear all sorts of different casual wear because they're casually coming to United. And this is why the atmosphere, the environment, everything seems like it's a waste of time. This is why these guys don't seem professional. They don't get ready for work with that mentality of monster, I want to win. We need to go back to the days of wearing that red Manchester United tie and those black suits, guys. And I'm telling you, the moment Manchester United makes this decision to make players come to games in suits again, you would see a definite improvement in performances. Big up to Hayden Pro in the building. How are you doing, my bro? I have to say, guys, it's an interesting situation. I've been speaking with my brother Hayden Pro at length about a lot of things. And now that Brian Mbeumo is here, and it's not just Cunha, I think it's time I say something interesting. And I know it's a transfer, sure, and we are mentioning, talking about Benjamin Sesko. We will continue about that, but I wanted to put this out to you guys. In a season where we have one game a week, we have a squad that was initially prepared to play 2 games a week within 32 hours, like we have always done for the last 6 years, like Real Madrid and Barcelona, the only 3 clubs in world football that have not been allotted that 48-hour break time between matches. We are not going to have a 60 game plus season this season. It's going to be an average of 40 games, no matter how you swing it. That is the mandatory amount of games we have to play this season. With that in mind, guys, I am wanting and I am thinking Man United could be offering something slightly different from what we all expect. And when I say this, guys, with the signing of Brian Bremo, I would guarantee that we are improved by 10 to 15, if not 20 goal contributions. And that's already after the improvement with the addition of Matthias Cunha, who I would say brings about the same, be it 10 or 20 goal contributions. I think Matthias Cunha and Mbeumo combined is bringing Man United at least 35 to 40 goals in this this window that we transferred. And with that in mind, putting those 2 players in the number 10 roles ahead of one Bruno Fernandes, guys. When we think about what Bruno does and the capabilities of these players, and if you were to cheaply add Sesko to that, he hasn't been arrived yet. We haven't concretely entered full on negotiations with a bid as of yet. But I'm just saying, guys, with the stylistics of these 3 players ahead of Bruno, I can see Man United scoring at least 30 to 40 more goals next season. And when I say this, it doesn't mean I'm saying we're in a title charge. I'm saying that we definitely can be competing for the top 8 of the table. I mean, we finished in 15th and we're not struggling to score goals. We scored a measly 40 something goals last season. That was worse than we've ever seen before. So it's one of those things. I think, a lot of people tell me about Joshua Zirkzee. I look at this guy as a number 10. And I think he's going to be a very interesting number 10 in the situation that we have going on. He's going to come in and definitely compete for that number 10 role. Maybe if we don't sign Sesko, Cunha might play up front. Who knows? Joshua Zirkzee might be the guy playing in the 10 role behind Matthias Cunha. It could be interesting. It's just a food for thought. And can Sesko bang in the Premier League? I would say, if Haaland never scored 40 plus goals in a season in Bundesliga and then came to the Prem and scored 60, I think it's something interesting. You know what I mean? Benjamin Sesko, the type of player he is, the way he reads the game, the quality he has on the ball, his quick footwork, his brilliant speed. I think he's going to be exceptional in the Premier League, especially with the likes of Cunha and Bremo and Bruno Fernandes supplying him when he needs. I think it will be definitely interesting. And I definitely think teams will respect Benjamin Sesko. He has earned his respect across Europe in the last 2.5 seasons, performing not only very well at Leipzig, but he did the business at Salzburg. You have to remember, bro, he was at RB Salzburg before, and he did the business there. He also does the business. He is the one of the top scorers for his country. He leads the line for his national team, Slovenia. I have to say, in competitions, he's beaten Haaland and Denmark at every time he's been asked. So it's an interesting situation. I think they could be in the same conversation in terms of what he can bring to our team. He's an extremely good finisher. And Haaland is also a phenomenal finisher. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where I think they're closely stylistically similar. I think he's the best option we can go for now that we are not getting, the likes of Victor Gyökeres. I think this is the best option. I know, bro, you like Etikite, but you know what Etekite offers, he's not offering finishing quality. Yeah. And yes, he had a brilliant season last season, but that doesn't guarantee he's going to kick on next season because the two seasons before, he has nothing to show for it. So I would say that Sesko is likely the best option after Victor Osimhen and Victor Gyökeres that we have available right now that we have been linked to. In my honest opinion, he's the best striker that we've been linked to after those two guys. That's just me. You might say I'm wrong. I could hold an L for that as well. But I definitely think he's going to come into the Prem and bang. I told everyone, Marmoush is going to come here and bang. And people said to me, oh, guys from Deutschland, the Bundesliga, they don't translate that well in the Prem. Schade, weiß. Ich kenne besser than das. Yeah. When it's sagen das, they will do well. Yeah. Look at Mamouche now. He's like one of the main men, if not the main man at Man City and he will be this season. He could have been the main man at United, but everyone was like, who's Mamouche? What is Marken talking about? Red Devil Modi's on it, guys. I told you guys about this Benjamin Sesko deal, and now let's talk about the Sancho and Marcus Rashford situation because they're closely tied and linked to the situation. And last night I gave you a quick little nugget about it, and then I saw Goldbridge come and he did a whole stream about it. Maybe he watches my stream as well. Shout out to Goldie in the building. You know what I mean? Mark, you know what it is. Sometimes we all have a good saying with a good name. It's not really his name, but it's my name. And I'll say it like that. Big up to everyone watching. Don't forget to smash the likes. Let's talk about Sancho. Right now, there's been talks, heavy negotiations with Juventus for Jadon Sancho from Man United. It is reported that Juventus is willing to submit a bid in the region of 20 to 27 million pounds for Jadon Sancho. They are still questioning his character and situation like that, but at the same time, they are not denying that he would improve their right side. You know what I mean? Bro, I said he was like the main guy. He was one of the main men this season, wasn't he, with his contributions? Tell me I'm wrong. He wasn't one of the main contributions from January to May, bro. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me. Sancho is leaving, bro. Now, a fan said he's one of the worst signings, all sorts of, terrible things he said to Sancho. And Sancho replied, I hope you have a good day, bro. You know what I mean? And I hope he has a good day in Italy because, in my honest opinion, there are reports that he was there and, the deal is going through. Man United are pushing for the deal to be signed. Of course, we know that Sancho is requiring payment to move out of the club. And what Man United has said is that with some of the funds that came in for Anthony Langa, for Alvaro Carreras, as well as other players who have been sold this summer onto bigger clubs, they have enough money to meet his demands. So his demands will be met and he will go in this transfer window. I can't say that Sancho will be gone on Monday, but by the end of next week, I can bet you that Juventus will have their guy in Jadon Sancho. Now, on to the tricky part of this conversation, and I'm talking about Marcus Rashford. We all know that Marcus Rashford is hell bent on getting himself on a free deal, loan, whatever it may be, to Barcelona. But there are reports that Thiago Motta is heavily interested in Marcus Rashford, and he's already had some private discussions with Marcus Rashford's camp in a bid to figure out or to come to terms with signing the player and what it will take to bring him to the old lady. I would love to see Marcus Rashford leave the club this summer. I won't lie. It's one of those things. It's just, I think he's had his time. Yes, he had a brilliant season in 22-23, but 23-24 was horrid. 24-25 was even worse. And it seems like the player just does not want to be here anymore. That's the only way I could put it. It's easy. He was a boyhood wonder out of the academy, and he has not done well. Of course, I think he will kill it at Barcelona, bro. I think he would kill it at any club he goes to be honest. But that's because he wants to play there. He no longer wants to play for Man United, and that's the truth. It's nothing else other than he's tired. He doesn't want to be here anymore, and he should go. And I think that Juventus should get his signature. It might take a while, but they're prepared to offer in the region of 45 million euros for the player, which equivocates to somewhere in the region of 35 million pounds, give or take, plus add ons. Let's see if it will be successful. Now, Rashford, Barca is in for Rashford, but they are not trying to offer concrete payment. Barca is trying to do a loan deal with an option to buy, and I'm not sure if they're even interested in having an obligation in that contract. And that's what makes things weird with the Barcelona deal. I think Rashford should make sure and go to a club that's willing to pay money for his services to Manchester United. And of course, it's going to be funny, as Campo said, if Barca don't come in for Marcus Rashford. I know Hayden Pro. I would sign this guy too. He's a Man United fan. He has more goals and assists than Lamine Yamal this season, and he was injured for a couple months. People still want to give Lamine Yamal a Ballon d'Or. I think the Ballon d'Or nomination should go to Cole Palmer. He is the one that drives Chelsea forward. I think Chelsea done amazing things this season, especially with the cups that they won, and I think that's heavily due to Cole Palmer's influence. He should be nominated for the Ballon d'Or, not Lamine Yamal. There are many players who won more and had better performances than Lamine Yamal this season. But I guess because he's 17-year-old and sensational at Barcelona, yeah, the media is going to love him like a darling. It's just a messy scenario again. And now, as Hayden Pro has asked just now, let's get into that because this is an interesting topic. There have been lots of talks, lots of rumors about Anthony Dos Santos. Of course, we know there's rumors that he's willing to take a 30% pay cut. And I said to everyone, this applies to Manchester United, not just to Real Betis. Of course, he had a great time there. He felt warmly welcomed. He showed with his performances. He was one of an impact into their team in the second half of their season last season, doing very well for them. Of course, we signed his best friend and confidant in Matthias Cunha, who has many great things to say about Anthony. And there are also some reports and rumors circling that he has been asking if it's possible for Anthony to have a second chance, claiming that together they will take Manchester United forward. Now, I can't guarantee that that's just 100%. I can't guarantee that it's a possibility. But what I can tell you, there are reports that there are considerations that Anthony may not leave this summer, but might be leaving in January. It will be more profitable for the club. There might be more openings to deals, as well as there might be a certain feeling that he can definitely contribute in this Ruben Amorim system, playing at that right wing back or left wing back role, which we know he is left footed, very tenacious, good on the ball, and I would say a fighter, an attitude, mentality monster that will definitely show it in the team with the right situations. Now, it will be interesting to see what happening. There are reports that Vitek has fallen out with Ruben Amorim because he was not picked for the traveling squad. When I said this a few days ago, people said I'm crazy. People said I hate the manager, but I don't understand why the manager is not taking Radmar Vitek in on the traveling squad. He's a very interesting young goalkeeper. He can play well with the ball at his feet, and he's a good shot stopper. But we know that the manager is interested in Diogo Costa. So maybe Radmel Vitek will be sacrificed to put funds towards that signing. We know Manchester United is also interested in a goalkeeper. I hate to talk about shit players, but Emi Martinez, the worst rated goalkeeper in Europe for the last two seasons, conceding the most goals from self-made mistakes for 2 seasons in a row to the tune of somewhere in the region of 40 to 47 goals conceded. He is number one in Europe for mistakes conceded that lead to goals for his team. I would say to Man United and any fan or YouTuber talking about this guy, please make sure to give the right news. Make sure to inform the fans about the quality of this guy. Don't just say he's good at shithousery, because good at shithousery just hides the fact that he's a shit goalkeeper. It's one of those interesting things to me. Diego Leon will play. Will he play for us at the start of the season? It is left to be seen, my bro. What I can tell you is that there are reports that we already heard his saying what he said. Diego Leon is going to fight his way into the team. There are rumors that other players are making way by going on loan, and Diego Leon will be part of the squad. I can't confirm that he will be starting in the team at the beginning of the season, but let's hope. Initially the plan was that he will play some youth games in the under 21 level and so forth, to also help him climatize to the league, to the system, to the refereeing, and to the grass and pitch of football and environment of England. Let's see how that happens. Costa will be coming in next season. City is signing James Trafford. Well, let's see what goes on there. They're resigning James Trafford. That's interesting news. That's interesting news. Mark Lamens from Royal Antwerp, around 20 to 30 million euros. There is actually 10 to 20 million euros is what he's actually worth. Transfer market says he's worth 10. Royal Antwerp would like to get somewhere in the region of 25 million euros for the player. That is only 10 to 15 million pounds, to be honest, anyhow we swing that. He's an interesting talent. He had a good season in the Champions League last season. He had a good season the season before. He was very good in shot stopping. And I would say it's an interesting player. Young guy as well. I believe he's 23 years old. It's going to be left to be seen if Manchester United does get this deal underway. But what I can tell you is that we are in talks for the player. He is a target. Let's see how it goes. I'm not really interested in signing him, to be honest. Really and truly, I would have preferred if we, tried to work out Radmal Vitek. We are signing lots of players and a lot of money is being wasted, when we are not we are unable to, see these players to value. We can't just keep signing players. What about the players in our academy? 11 changes at halftime nonsense today. Bro, it's preseason. I see a lot of fans laughing at Ten Hag and Leverkusen because they lost 5-0. I mean, the guy went in there like what, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they had their first preseason game. They lost 5-0 to under 21 Flamingo. It is what it is. It's preseason. I think there's a lot of desperation in some fans who just want to laugh at Ten Hag. But let's see what happens at the end of the season. Because a lot of fans laughed at Ten Hag when he lost 7-0 to Liverpool. And Man United was competing at the top of the table. At even one point, we were in first place. We finished third. We played 2 cup finals. We had the most clean sheets of any team that season. 18 wins at home. Yeah, it was a fortress. You know what I mean? First season, shit happens. Let's see how it goes. You know what I mean? I'm not the one blaming him for what happened to Man United. I would say blaming Man United for what happened to Man United is much better. Blame the board, blame Ineos for poor decisions, making haste and making waste. Opening might be what? Might be a bloodbath against Arsenal if we don't sign all the players we needed for the gaffer. 100%. But I mean to say, he didn't, not all managers get the signings that they want at the beginning of the season. Sometimes you get 3 or 4, sometimes you get 5. I hope that he gets 5, to be honest, because he needs it. His system is really different, and yeah, you can't just do those things. But guys, it's been an interesting one. This is with my update for you this morning. Lots of nuggets in it. Take it for what it is. Let me know what you guys think about it. Come up in the comments. Let me know how you feel about United's new negotiation, new move for Benjamin Sesko, reportedly £55 million deal, which would give Leipzig the 70 million euros they're demanding for the player. Big up to Ray Brown in the building. Of course, Jadon Sancho should be on his way to Juventus sometime this week. Juventus are ready to make the bid. They were just exploring and investigating his character and the profile of player that he is. But he is set to be, he's wanted by Thiago Motta along with Marcus Rashford. Will it be a mega double deal from Juventus for Manchester United's wingers? Will Juventus come in with that 60 plus million-pound deal for both players? Well, I certainly hope so. Manchester United will definitely do well to have that money. Of course, they have to make a payout to both Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho when the deal goes through. But for now, Sesko is on the menu, and let's see what goes. Brian Umbremo is here. Here we go. Medical taking place as we speak. He's arrived at Carrington this morning, somewhere in the last 15 minutes, and the medical has begun. It's a partial medical. They will be flying over to USA. Of course, he will complete his medical over there. This is an interesting situation. Let's see how it goes. Which academy star will step up this season? I don't know. There are reports that Kukonki is going out on loan. There's other reports of young players like Dan Gore going out on loan to Rotterdam as well. There's other interesting reports that, Ethan Williams is also going out on loan. Toby Collier might be going out on loan as well. And a further other three players from the academy will also be going out on loan to various clubs. You know what I mean? And when I say that, the likes of Scanlon as well will be going on loan. There are possible Ethan Wheatley as well will be going out on loan again. Let's see what happens there. I will just be following all these young players on loan, and you will be getting uploads, weekly shorts of their performances in games this summer. Should Embremo get the seven? Bro, I was thinking about this yesterday. I don't know why we don't just strip Mason Mount of the seven and give it to Embumo. I think it's the best choice. And while Amarim seems to be reshuffling the numbers on the team, it's a good time to take the number seven off that loser. You know what I mean? Mason Mount is a good player on his day, but for the last two seasons, he's been nothing short of a waste man. And in my honest opinion, get him out. Ralph's game. Yeah. Get him out of my club because he's been rubbish. Him having a partial medical is a boost to us. Yeah, it is a boost. Let's see how it goes. It's just preseason, bro. The guys just really just getting their legs a run in preseason, getting themselves acclimatized to playing with each other. Preseason, don't take it too seriously. Maybe the game in Manchester at Old Trafford against Fiorentina might be a game where you will see a performance out of the team because it's one of the last games before the season actually begins. So let's see how we go. Let's see how it goes. I think, yeah, Sesko definitely. If he comes to Man United, he should get the nine, and Marcus and Rasmus Højlund numbers should change. He should get a deep number, maybe 29, 99, something like that, until he earns a more appropriate number. Let's see how that goes. But guys, thank you for joining. Don't forget to share it around and smash the likes. Your boy has got to go. It's been an update. I will try to be back later on tonight. If Hayden and you guys have time, definitely we will have a panel show and a call in. Red Devil mode is on. Remember, this is the hashtags for all and everything Mark and MUFC this summer and this season. All the fans, all the fan base. If you're down with United, get your Red Devil mode on. Shout it out loud and proud everywhere. Let's go, and let's hope that they get the job done. Because Sesko and Bremo and Cunha, I would say that's about 40 goal signings right there. You know what I mean? And adding 40 to 40 means next season we might be scoring 80. That's some weird logic, but you know what? It's how it goes. We didn't have the best season last season. In 15, we need a big one with one game a week, a lot of time to rest, a lot of time to coach, a lot of time to perfect the system. Yeah, we should be doing an improved performance this season. So big up to all of you. Don't forget to smash the likes and share it around, guys. Help the channel grow. The aim for this season, hey, I need to get to 10K and I need your help. I can't do it without you guys. But for now, catch you guys later on. It's your boy Marken signing out. and I'll be seeing you all later.
Baby.